Good afternoon, dear travelers. How are you all today? And a new week. You see, over time, we have always been finding it difficult to explain to our dear clients the differences between Michris as a recruitment agency and other companies as a travel and tour. We have been finding it difficult to explain the concept of being a recruitment agency and the concept of being a travel and tour agency on the other hand. Now, let me try and explain as simple as I can. Michris as a recruitment agency. What Michris as a recruitment agency does is to bid for employment contracts from companies abroad who doesn't mind getting foreign workers from Africa. We bid for employment contracts from the international companies who are in dire need of foreign workers. So it is our own duty to liaise with probably a recruitment agency over there or work directly with the company in sourcing for qualified candidates who can fit into the position which they have. We see to the documentation process, we see to the paperwork, and we do our own part in making sure that we send over qualified candidates to them. So it means that before our clients leaves the shores of Africa, a job is waiting for them. A position is waiting for them to be filled. An employer is waiting to pick them up at the airport. But comparing us to visa agents on the other hand, what a visa agent does is quite different from what we do. A visa agent may process visiting visa for you. They have diverse immigration processes which they do. They process visiting visa, they process tourist visas, they process study visas. In fact, many travel agents they process they can even book your flight for you if you are relocating abroad, which Michris may not be able to do that. In fact, most of them even book your hotels because as a visitor or as a tourist in a foreign land, you have to actually book your hotel. So it is their line of business. So it is not unusual to find the traveling agents offering those, um, carrying out those duties, offering those services. It is not unusual. It is their line of business. But here at Michris, as a recruitment agency, what we strictly do is bid for employment contracts from abroad, then get qualified candidates from Africa, we source for them, see to their documentation process and their onboarding process. We just send them to the employer who needs them abroad. You understand? So it means that there is so many differences, like there are so many differences, there are distinct roles which Michris perform, which other travel agents might not be able to perform. And there are roles that the travel agents perform that Michris, on the other hand, may not be able to perform. It is what we do, it is what they do. You understand? So that's exactly why we may not be able to give you what you want when you come to us and tell us, oh, I want Japan visiting visa, I want Canada tourist visa, I want Singapore study visa. We may not be able to do all that for you. And we may not be able to process any other country which we do not have recruitment contract in. We may not be able to process it for you. You understand? We only deal with countries in which we have a recruitment contract. If we don't have a recruitment contract from any country, we cannot get workers for it. There is no way we can do it. I hope you all understand now. So another advice I would want to give to our intending travelers is you owe yourself the obligation to know your visa type. Yes, you owe yourself the obligation. So many people come to Michris and say, oh, look, Michris, we wish to relocate to Europe through the work permit, but unfortunately, I don't have more than 2 million naira. Is that possible? Well, it is not possible. If you think it is possible, If an agent is telling you that it is possible, then it is possible they give to you temporary residence visas, such as visiting or tourist visa or conference visa. It's possible they get that for you for that range. But for work permit, it is not possible. Except, of course, if you can secure the employment directly from the company yourself, you may be able to spend a little above that 2 million naira budget which you have. But if you cannot secure the employment directly from those companies, it is very difficult because a lot is going into it. If you think it is easy to secure employment abroad, you can go on all these job sites, go on Indeed, go on Total Jobs, go on LinkedIn and see for yourself and see how many unfortunate messages you are going to get when you start applying and applying and applying over and all over again. It is not easy. So what we do is not a walk in the park. It is not a bed of roses. It's a very difficult task, which is very difficult to get. We liars, we bargain. A lot goes into this just to please them, just so they can take workers from Africa. So it is not something that you can take for granted at all. So please, you need to know your visa type. If we tell you that this is the cost of getting a work permit in Romania, don't come back to insult us and tell us that an agent told you that you can get it for 1.5 million naira. You are free to try the other agents, but you owe yourself the obligation to know the visa type, just in case you get a different visa from what you bargained for. You may be able to hold your agent responsible for giving you something different. You understand? It is a thing, like it is one thing to be financially ready, to be financially capable, and know the country you want to go to. It is another thing to know the visa types which are needed. You understand? To know the visa type which you are getting, I mean, it is another thing to do to know that. So in case you just I'm going to use Canada for example for you. So many agents say, oh well, I can process Canada work permit for you. And at the end of the day, when the visa is out, you discover that they give to you permanent, sorry, not permanent residence, they give to you temporary residence visas. So for clients who are able to know the differences, they are going to ask, why did they give me visiting visa? Why did they give me tourist visa? Why did they give me conference visa? And you know what the agents tell them? They tell them that don't worry, um, it is going to be a job on arrival visa. You're going to get job on arrival, or we are going to help you. We are going to assist you with a job, which of course you know that all those ones are just lies. You understand? So, but for those who don't even know the visa type, they are they are just going to hold the visa and say, oh well, I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Canada. And at the end of the day, they get there and become stranded. And they start screaming, oh, abroad is hard, abroad is hard, don't come. No, abroad is not hard. You are the one that didn't plan your movement well. You didn't plan your relocation journey well. So you are bound to encounter serious issue. You understand? So here at Michris, our prices are very fair. It is very fair. It is verifiable. It is very fair. If you are getting it lower somewhere else, then it means that I'm not talking about Asia now. I'm talking about Europe because of course you can get Kuwait work visas for variety of prices and they are genuine. So I'm talking about Europe now. If you get it cheaper somewhere else, so it means that you are either getting something different from the visa type we are giving to you, or what else? Anything is possible. Or you are getting the job directly yourself. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. But then don't undervalue Michris. Don't think we are doing so much. We are not. You understand? So we want to thank everyone once again for staying with Michris up to this moment, for trusting us, for the referrals, for paying us visits from all over Nigeria because it is not easy, despite the unsafety on the road, like the unsafe roads, the accidents that may happen, the kidnapping, the insecurities that are all over Nigeria. You still choose to pay us a visit here in Osun State. We really appreciate, and we will never take your trust and patronage for granted. Thank you and bye.